Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? Robert Max here. Good to see you. I know you're doing better. And he said, I don't know about this. You obviously don't have the same ex-wives that I have, Robert, because I could wish it on at least one. Anyway, Demedia, E.T., Gary's here, Bobby's here. Who else? Tommy J. Bill, how you doing? Andy, Grays is here. How you doing? Brock's here. Traveler. I know I read something on that. You're cooking dinner, so you're probably listening. When you get back over, we'll ramble. JJ Drones, how you doing? And just real quick on that, if you guys aren't subscribed to JJ, he's friends and subbed with Bobby, and they're both starting their live stream stuff, and he did a impromptu live stream kind of anyway with Bobby, and it was a good interview. So if you guys get a chance, check out JJ Drones. You probably already subscribed to Bobby, and that is time to get going. Watch it. It's a good interview, and it's not really long. You guys can correct me, but I think it's only like 6-7 minutes or something like that. 8 minutes. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Hey T&W, how you doing? The other thing was Robert had got a hold of me, and obviously he's doing better. He's in the chat. And then I also I put a link in our little chat group to Robert, so you can pick that up when you want to. Oh, you're very welcome, JJ. The interview was great. That's why I'm saying. Let's see. What's Rock saying? I know you're feeling like gallbladder. Yeah, it turned into a pineapple. Yeah, I heard that can be, obviously. And Robert knows pain because he's had his knees replaced. So he knows what real pain is. So if he's saying it's painful, it's painful. So what else is happening? Anybody ask anything? Good morning to you, Bill. Andy's got to be jonesing to be back to get back to Thailand. Although I think you said the next trip's going to be to Cambodia to start. I think something like that. And I know I watched Chuck's video this morning, which I usually watch every morning. And he's saying Vietnam is basically just a 48 or 24-hour PCR test, and no. You don't have to have vax. You don't have to have anything, is what he was saying, unless I heard it wrong. And I'll give you the whole spiel. Of course, check with the governments and find out what the hell's going on. Anyway, so it sounds like everything's opening up, and that's a good sign, I think, for Thailand. I think they're going to tell you the truth, my personal opinion is I think that they're saying they're pretty much going to be wide open unless there's some kind of a giant problem. July 1st. I think it's going to be before that. I think they're going to open it up before, because they've got to keep in the race with these Asian countries. Otherwise, they're not going to get in. Everybody's going to go to Cambodia or wherever, Vietnam, and just walk in. So I think they're going to bump it up, I guess is what I'm saying. Hey, Chris, how you doing? And Joe. yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the trip and getting back and getting my passport updated and to the big one and have all sorts of pages to stamp so I can do traveling. I know, and in case anybody's listening, I think what's the date today? Today's 26th. I've, I've had both since I've been here, both the Asia Air passes. First one was like 3,000, 2,900. Second one was 3,500, and I believe this one is 5,000, 4,900. But I believe my wife told me that it's going to be available, I think, on the 28th. And if you guys are going to get it, you've got to get in the morning whenever it turns 12:01 onto the 28th in whatever time zone you're in. But my understanding is it's not going to only be limited to travel inside. So wherever they go outside, whether they go to Bali or Cambodia or Vietnam or whatever it is, it's going to include that also. So for what is that, 30s, 110, 20, 30, 40, 150, $160. And they usually run, I don't know what this, they usually run 8 or 9 months. And in case anybody's not familiar with that, you have to, do your bookings 30 days in advance, and you just pay the tax. Like I said, me and my wife went to Bangkok round trip from Buriram, and it cost us $15, 500 baht. So it's usually 150 one way, 150 back, somewhere around that. The taxes, maybe 200, sometimes only 100, sometimes only 50. So it depends on where you're going, but it's definitely a good deal as far as I'm concerned. And I just see that Robert Mack has popped in, so let's not keep him waiting. Robert, how you doing?
Hey, brother. How you
Hey,
doing?
brother. I'm doing
I,
good.
this morning, you want me to tell you the story? What happened, real quick?
Yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead.
All right. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. My wife and I got us something to eat. And we came back, and we put a new lawn out front. We are picking a few uh, weeds, and I go, damn, I got a pain all of a sudden, and I broke out in a sweat, and I mean, this pain was nothing I've ever felt. It was like made knee replacement look like a jump in a kid's cage, or something like just merry-go-round. But all of a sudden, man, I was just kept sweating. I tried to sit down, I get up and move. I couldn't get comfortable anywhere, so I went over to the hospital a couple blocks away here, and they took me in right away, and then they called an ambulance to take me to the big hospital, Kaiser, and four people came in that ambulance, paramedics, and I had an IV and everything, and then when I got to the other one, they immediately took me to a room, and they gave me some pain medicine, but nothing would stop the pain. It was terrible,
Wow.
and man,
Wow.
all night I couldn't sleep, tossing and turning, and so finally, the next day they gave me my own room, and I said I want to talk to the chief medical. I said I'm supposed to be in here, being halfway comfortable, and I'm suffering. So he bumped the IV up. At first they're giving me morphine or oxycontin pill, which was rubbish. It would make burn inside me even worse. So they gave me Dilaudid 6.6 something, which was nothing, and then they upped it to one I don't know, one something, and that would help. But then I said, this went from 3 to 4 hours. Who's making these decisions? I'm the one suffering. I paid for health insurance, so every 2 hours they give it to me. Well, a couple days ago they started giving me fentanyl, and the
Yeah.
fentanyl really helped. And the nurse was cool because he gave me a big dose, like double what I was getting with the other stuff. And then he'd come back and say, well, instead of throwing this away here, I'll just give you the rest out of the bottle. And he gave me some more. And about 30 minutes later, now, oh my God, I was like in heaven. And then I laid around for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. And I went to surgery yesterday. I went in at I think 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. It was supposed to be an hour surgery. I was in there for over 2 hours in the surgery, and then total 6 hours in the whole recovery. And I got back, and instantly I can feel the difference. They
Right.
said it was like bag with little oh god, I forgot what those things. They got the you get the what do you call those little balls you get in there?
Stones.
Stones. And but the problem is it caused my pancreas to have pancreatitis, like infection.
Right.
And then it swole my liver up so bad, everything was swollen. So I had to lay there for days while all the infections went away. And oh my God, that's the worst pain you ever. I could have had 2 knee replacements and a hip replacement. The pain wouldn't have been that bad.
Wow.
So
When are
I
they
had
gonna
to
when they gonna let you out?
this morning at 9 o'clock. I said I don't want any more pain medicine, or 7 o'clock was it? I don't remember. And I waited like 3 hours. I said, okay, I think I'm ready. I'm getting out of here. I said, I'm done. I want to go. I can deal with this little pain. I still have pain. I
Right.
got some pain pills around here somewhere left over from before that I haven't taken, but I haven't taken them. I'm going to just sweat this out. This healing pains now, like I got a brew here. Let me show you. I don't know if can you see this?
Just barely. It's pretty dark. So you got
Yeah,
like a
I know. I'm in a
incision in the middle of your stomach.
yeah, I got holes everywhere. I got 4 of them. I
Wow.
uh I just said I can't, the beds are so small in the hospital. It's like sleeping on a cot,
Right.
and you
Right.
you sit on that mattress, and you're on bars and everything. It's like terrible. So
Jeez.
I'm home now. My wife was by my side
Oh,
every
you're
day.
home. Oh, okay. You're home now.
I just got
Cool.
home a few hours ago,
Oh, perfect.
and
Good for you.
my lovely wife, boy, what a blessing. She's there every day. Well, I couldn't be so happy,
Yeah, I've been
especially
there.
when you're
Feels
suffering.
that
But
way.
hopefully, come hell or high water, I'm gonna get on that damn plane to go Vietnam
When
and
are you supposed
Thailand.
to go?
April. When are we supposed to leave? April 13th. Rachel. When we supposed to go? April 13th, 14th.
So that's
No, 13th or 14th.
almost 3 weeks from now.
Hell or high water, I'm gonna get on that damn plane.
I don't see you. You seem like you, with your knee and everything else, seem like you healed
Yeah,
pretty quick. So I don't
but
see any reason why not.
I'm gonna come. You know what? I'm just gonna take it easy here and heal up, and I want to come to Vietnam and then fly to Thailand. I want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
Hopefully,
hope I can get
yeah.
over, huh?
I'm sure that they'll. I mean, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't give you the okay, especially if it's 3 weeks from now. But you never
I
know.
asked
I
the
mean,
doctor. I said, "Can I fly?" He says, "Yes,
oh, perfect. Well, good.
unless you still have pain." He says, "Come in here." And I said, "Oh, believe me, if I have pain, I'll come in here. I don't want to go through this again." I recommend anybody that has pain around their gallbladder or sees something, go get it checked out before it's too late. I seen Brock had it before, and he knows it's the worst thing around. I highly recommend go get it taken out before it's too late, because once it's too late, then you have to wait a few days. But I want to thank everyone for the well wishes and everything. Tommy J, you, Mitch, ET, everybody. I really
And
appreciate it.
Bobby just put up saying if you need anything, let him know because he's close. I know
Yeah,
you guys have met
thanks,
up a couple
Bobby.
of times.
But I really appreciate it. Everybody here is like family. I'm really grateful.
Yeah,
So,
Brock and Joe just came in on
hey,
Morning,
on
Bob.
the
Brock.
screen.
Hi, Brock. I see Brock
Hey,
went through it
Cobus.
before.
Yeah, it's
It
a
was, it
couple
Hi,
of
was,
Robert.
tips.
Hi, Brock.
hey, Brock.
Couple
It
of
was, it
tips.
was the worst pain ever, wasn't it?
It was incredibly terrible.
I know. I'll never forget it the rest of my life. Believe me, I'm gonna make sure I don't eat certain things either. So, but anyways, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
make
get
sure
off.
you
I'll get
make.
off and watch the chat for a little bit. But I just
Yeah,
want to thank
definitely.
everybody for all the well wishes, man. It meant so much to me. We're like a family.
Yeah, you
I
bet.
I missed YouTube so much. I wanted to watch you guys. I just couldn't see nothing. My eyes were crossed,
Right. Oh, I
so I
bet.
couldn't focus. But I talked to Tommy if here and there, which Tommy's a cool dude, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
Tommy
everything
was
from him.
keeping us. He was keeping
Yeah,
us semi
Tommy's a good
abreast of what was
friend,
going
man.
on.
I like
He's a
Tommy.
good one.
My
Yeah, he's
wife,
a good
my
one.
wife and I like him. He's a nice guy.
He is a good guy.
So,
A
All
all
right.
couple
Well,
right,
of tips.
cool. Well,
everybody.
take care. Yeah, take care of yourself.
Thank you. I
Bob,
appreciate everything. I'll watch the chat, then I'll let you guys do your thing.
Okay.
Thank
couple
you
of tips
very
before
much.
you go, Bob.
Huh?
A couple of tips before you go. You had
Yes.
it easy. You had the keyhole surgery. I got a zipper across my
Oh, they
stomach.
opened you all the way up.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
was
they
I was
told me. They
blown up.
said we don't know if we need to open you all the way up or not. I said I don't care what you do, just do it. And
Gallstones, I think.
they
But
What
thank
was it? What was it? What was it that you had the stones in? It was gallstones, right?
gallstones, yeah.
gallbladder.
Yeah, gallstones. Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
the gallbladder.
If you notice
Traveler
any
was
any
asking.
lumps there, right in the middle, any lumps or any kind of pain, go get it looked at because you don't really need the gallbladder. Everybody says they're
No,
useless and they just cause problems. But if it's when it gets too late, Dave,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the pain will be something you don't want to live through.
I don't wait. I don't wait anymore. I did before I went in the hospital here in Thailand and almost died. But since then, any kind of pain, anything wrong with me, I don't fight. Straight to the
Oh,
hospital. I was
yeah,
one of those guys that never wanted to go and
me
waited
too.
until I was almost, and it almost killed me.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
smoking cigarettes when I couldn't breathe
Oh boy.
before she took me to the emergency room, and they put a tube in me and took
Oh
me
my
straight
God.
in, and I
That's like
couldn't even breathe. I was like this. I was like,
Jesus.
it's crazy. So I'm glad I don't smoke. It's been 2 years, but yes, I don't fool around anymore. Any kind of
That's
pain,
me.
I go.
I try not to run to the doctor for every little thing, and it
yeah.
bit me in the butt.
Yeah, I
So
don't I don't mess around anymore. Especially here in Thailand, it's so even if you don't have any money, I mean
hey,
it's so
wait a minute. Wait a
reasonable.
minute. Wait a minute. You don't mess around.
Hey,
When's the knee
Louis, hey.
replacement?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm waiting. I did get. She did find out that they will cover it. I'll have to pay, and then they
You'll
give it
love it.
back.
You'll
Yeah,
love it.
85%. So she's finding out who are the best surgeons here, orthopedics, and who's in Bangkok, wherever I got to go. I'd rather go here if I
Yeah.
could. So
I
I'll,
talked.
my
I was
doctor,
in.
my doctor's straight up with me. He'll tell
Right.
me this guy is good or this guy's no good.
I
He'll
was
he'll
in
be straight up.
Bangkok 3 years ago at a hotel, and this lady was coming up the elevator with plates, and I said, "Oh, having dinner." She says, "I got to feed my mom. She had knee replacement. They came from India to Bangkok to have knee replacement." She
Yeah,
said she had them both done, and it was so cheap compared to somewhere else. So they
yeah.
came there, and it's excellent work.
I'm gonna do it. There's no doubt in my mind. I just don't know exactly when. But
Yeah,
you're getting thumbs up and from everybody here. Lewis just
yeah.
came in and said
I appreciate it. Thanks,
hola,
Louis
and
Cabo.
everybody. Yeah, everybody's and every. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of a cool community here. I kind of dig it anyway. I
Hey,
don't know
Louis.
the people that are here do
Hey,
too.
Louis
The
Cabo. Can I get your line number from Tommy J? If so, let him know if you want to give it to me.
There you go.
Let Tommy
Yeah,
know.
he's a good one, man.
I like
We're
Louis. I drank with him
yeah.
at Sexy Bar. He's so funny. The girls
I'm
just
looking
swarm.
forward to meeting him when he gets
The
here.
girls
Looking
swarm
forward to
him. He's so funny. He's cool dude, man. So, all right,
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna let him.
everybody wishes
the
you well, and
Thank
I'm the
you.
same way. Tell everybody the same thing, especially at my age now. Anything wrong with me, I just go. And
Yeah,
like I said,
that's
when I go to it doesn't cost you, especially here in Thailand,
yeah,
and most of the
true.
places, most people have insurance and stuff
At
too. But
our age, we
don't
gotta go
wait.
now.
Yeah, don't
yeah.
wait, man.
We're a
Don't wait.
young buck, we're invincible.
Yeah, I thought I was.
Yeah,
I
me
found
too.
out differently.
Me
All right,
too.
yeah, go take care of yourself.
All right,
Relax a little
I'm
bit.
gonna watch the chat from the viewers.
All
Okay.
right, all right,
Thank you
Robert.
very much. I love everybody. Cheers.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Where'd I go? There I am.
There you
The
are. I
doctors will
took you.
probably tell Bobby not to eat fatty foods, cut that stuff back. But the bile duct actually takes over the function of the gallbladder, and you can eat just about anything you want. I do. You might find if you eat good fatty bacon or fatty pork, you might have a bit of a runny poo in a couple of hours. That's about it. Your body's an
Hey,
amazing
Expat Pete,
piece.
how you doing? Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Everybody's saying take care to Bobby, which is cool. I'm glad that he's. It was kind of weird because when we found out he wasn't given very much information out, and it was a little bit on the, as far as I was concerned, it was a little bit on the scary side. But once they said just for prayers to quick recovery, I figured he was okay. But it don't take much, man. Like I said, the biggest thing that I learned when I was in is it don't take much to die. I could step off the wrong curb, the wrong minute of the wrong time of day, anywhere on this planet, and be dead in 10 seconds. So live life now to the max, like right behind me, always to the max. And do it now, not tomorrow. But
Yeah.
anyway, Jam saying hello to everybody. Hey, Dip Media, how you doing? Gotta love Thailand. I was dealing with Bell's palsy for 6 months before I came to Thailand in December. It made me really focus on my health and get. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is stay healthy because, like I said before, if they want you to work until you're 67 years old and then die at 72, according to their little charts and stuff. So what's that? They're giving you 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 5 good years after you put in 67. I don't know. Not everybody can retire at 50. Not everybody can retire younger than 50. But like I said, if you can retire and still have a life, I'm not trying to encourage anybody to retire on $10, But if you can retire, I wouldn't waste any time. Just my opinion. Yeah, he's young, isn't he, Bobby? Robert's saying hello to Lewis. Uh, where are you at now, Lewis? You still in Mexico? I know you were going to be headed this way. I think summertime or my summertime in the U.S. August, July, August, something like that. I think. Looking forward to meeting you. By the way, thanks for saying hello. Everybody's saying make sure Robert says you take care of yourself and do that, Robert. Don't push yourself in any way.
Yeah. The worst time is now just not to stress anything. It'll take a week feeling like a strangled, drowned kitten. Then you'll start to come good again. You want to eat. Take it easy, and you'll be back to normal in no time.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see, Andy saying I retired early. Do it if you can. Yeah, only if you can. I don't want people to take me out of contents. Oh, I was listening to Dave. He said retire at 10. You know, uh, make sure you've got enough money to retire. But it doesn't have my amount of retirement is going to be different than everybody else's here. you know. So whatever you're comfortable with as a retirement amount, it's going to vary. Then I suggest retire as soon as you hit that amount. That you can get because life's too short, man. I can't believe I'm 65 and I got to retire at 50, so I've gotten 15 years of retirement so far, and it went by like that. I feel like I just retired. So, granted, the first part I was taking care of my cousin that had the Lou Gehrig's disease for a couple of years, but and then went and did some other stuff, and then, of course, had the great luck of my wife getting cancer. But it I would do it as soon as you can. Life's way too short. I retired too early. Yeah, you should have retired 8 years ago at least. Yeah, yeah. If that's what it takes to retire, then that's what you have to do. But like I said, I wouldn't. Even if Bobby's saying at 68, well, if you can retire at 67 and you keep on working, and you still have enough money to retire, that to me, to each their own. I mean, some people feel like, hey, if I retire, I'm going to die. If I'm not doing something and then but there's plenty of stuff that I can find out that I can do now that I want to do, not that I have to do. And that's the way I look at it. But I can't believe I'm 77. Yeah, Bill's up there too. And Tommy says you look 55, Bobby. He looks younger than me, that's for sure.
You'll have
Cobus,
the
did I
same.
say hi to Cobus? I did say hi to
Oh,
I
hello,
think Cobus.
Cobus. Yeah, I missed you in the when you got in.
Yeah, I think I did too. And I know Traveler's back in. And Expat Pete. Um, who else? I didn't miss it. If I missed anybody, I'll catch you when we go through all the stuff. So anyway, let's see I didn't go through the damn Thai kitchen could be done today. He's 95% done. So he's coming back this morning, and then we're going to go over outside of that. I want to put a cover to over about it's maybe 3 meters by 2.5 meters on that side of the house. I want to cover it because that's where we're going to put the rack for the clothes, and that's where the washing machine pedestal is going. So he'll start on that after that, and then like I told you, I think I'm going to take a month off, and I haven't decided yet. I have to figure that out. But hey, Steve, how you doing? 69 in Thailand. If you're interested, ring me up. Yeah, it. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen you before. Have I? I'm horrible with names and stuff. But that's what it's all about here. Is everybody talking to each other, telling about their experiences, whether they're coming to Thailand, in Thailand. I'm in Thailand also. If you don't know, I'm in Surin. I've been here for 3.5 years, maybe a little bit more, and we have a bunch of fun and a lot of support each other here, like it is like a little family. But yeah, so I'm hoping he can do that. I'm just gonna put. I don't think I'm gonna put that insulated roofing, corrugated roofing on it. Although I might. It's not that much, and I've got it on everything else because it's so loud. I don't know if you guys have been underneath these metal roofings that don't have any insulation on them, but you can't talk to one another. If it's a good downpour and you're a foot apart, you won't hear what each other's saying. Feedback on sponge baths. Let's see, Jam. You guys are Jam's talking back. How you doing, Jam? I don't know if I said hello to you. I caught Jam's 10-minute live stream of walking down the beach. Question, okay. How to book open-end flights to Thailand? I don't know. I know that it is possible to book one-way flights. A lot of people come here, and some people say, no, you can't do that. I'm under the understanding that, yes, you can. Do you have to convince some people? Yes. But open-ended, I don't know. I don't know about open-ended. You'd have to talk to whoever you're flying through. I went, and like I told Bobby, I was on his live stream. Hi, Chris. I was on his live stream, and jetfly.com. I checked because I was going to go back in July and go for 2 weeks, and it was $767 round trip from Bangkok to LAX. So flights are decent. I mean, I think that's really decent. They were 900, and some of them are, and that was on Philippine Airlines. But if you get a chance, check out jetfly.com. I've been using it for a long time, since I've been here. Actually, since I went to Costa Rica in 2015. So, but open-ended, I don't know, but I believe you can get one way. It is possible. In fact, I know originally you definitely weren't supposed to get it a long time ago. And who was it? The guy I watched in Kamala, 20 Seconds in Thailand, Rob, and he came when he came originally, he came on a one-way ticket, so it can be had. Tommy J says, I retired at 51, went back to part-time for 4 years, double dipped, been all retired over 3 years. So you've been retired for 3 years. When are you coming next to Thailand, Bobby? Or Tommy? Let's see, Gray's Dip Media. What's your side hustle? Let's see. The biggest problem. See what ET says. The biggest problem with retiring early is clearly all your debt. Best not to buy too much stuff if you decide to travel, save, and on minimum, most stuff you don't. Yeah, exactly. And I debt free when I left, and ended up selling the house and everything else. But yeah, definitely, you got to look at your whole deal. I didn't even know what a budget was until I came to Thailand. So let's let Chris in. I was holding him in prison. He's been in jail down below.
Hello,
Good
Chris.
morning. Good morning, Chris.
Top of the morning, everybody.
But
And everybody I didn't get to say good day to.
yeah, definitely the best thing you could do is be debt free. Is that possible at an early retirement? Yeah, I did it. But I had a little bit, but nothing to speak of. But you definitely have to be prepared. Let's see what. Hey, misdemeanor. Hi, Dave. Reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. I went in for my heart, which is fine. Good to hear. However, speaking of gallstones, I've had a few. Man, they are painful. I know that. My wife had her gall. My wife was like I've said it before, the one that passed away. She was a 60-year-old woman in a 90-year-old body. At 60 years old, she had a total hysterectomy at 30, had 4 back surgeries, had 2 hip replacements, had her gall, whatever it was, removed. She had the poor woman was sickly. She had external, what's that nasty rash
Eczema.
and I forget what actually, if it's internal, it's fatal. If it's external, it's not. But anyway, she had all these things. Couldn't go in the sun, and anyway, the poor woman, she had
Shingles?
a lot of stuff. What's that? No, she had shingles though too. And like I said, I was talking to my friend the other day, and I said, if it would have, if she would have still been alive during all this crap with the virus, she would have been the very first one to get it, and she would have been the very first one to get it twice. That's her luck that she had. The poor woman had no luck whatsoever. That's why I still remember to this day we were in Colorado when she said, when I was talking to my niece and my wife was there, and I said she had the bone marrow test or whatever it was, and Nikki's going, yeah, but everything still could be all right. And I said, we're talking about Noni. You don't understand that. And of course she started crying. My niece and her. Well, that was the niece that we took in when she was 14 and kind of raised her. But it's her. That was the thing. It's Noni. If anything could possibly go wrong, this poor woman's going to happen to. And sure enough, it did. But we'll get off that. All right, so.
Yeah, misdemeanor, psoriasis, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's got it. I'll remember the name. It's a nasty, nasty disease. If you have it internally, like I said, it's fatal. But there's an external version of it, and I'll remember the name. It's right there. I'll remember the name of it. But the poor woman in this case too. She had it so bad. Luckily, I was working for UCSF. I went to the dean. The weirdest thing in the world, a dermatologist. Okay, we need to send you to a dermatologist, the regular doctor. Okay, when? 6 months from now. Really? She's sitting here crying. The stuff looks like she's on fire, right? And I called every one in Fresno, every dermatologist in Fresno, and they all said the same thing. Yeah, I need to make an appointment for my wife. Oh, okay. When do you want to come in? I don't know. As soon as possible. What's the problem? Well, she has a rash. Oh, we're not seeing anybody with rashes. And that was the same exact response to everyone I talked to. And the dean got me a lady that was on the board at UCSF, and we went to her. She said immediately, take her right now to emergency, make sure they admit her. As soon as she went in, they gave her morphine. But the point I was making is, if you looked it up on the internet or whatever, it would show you this little bitty back, somebody's back with a little bitty faint pink rash and stuff like that. Yeah. My wife's made that look like nothing. The doctor wanted to put her in the medical books. That's how severe the stuff was, and that was her kind of luck. She couldn't just get something that was, and you can have it two ways. It's one of two ways: painful or not painful. And of course, she had the painful one. Poor
was
woman.
it shingles?
What's that?
Was it singles?
No, she had shingles too. But she had shingles, and she had pretty much, the poor woman had every. God, I wish I could remember, because the stuff that they gave her for that disease was actually the stuff that probably killed her, but it gave her the most relief for 6, 7 years. But I found out afterwards, some of the side effects could be leukemia, bone marrow, cancers, and stuff like that, and that was what she had. But God, lupus. There's a skin lupus and an interior lupus. She had the skin lupus, and the most severe case that any doctor ever saw. So
Nasty.
Poor woman. Yeah, it was really nasty. I felt sorry for her. But once they got it in there, it took 2 doctors, 2 specialists from UCSF. UCSF was a savior. Luckily, I worked there, and they worked together to get her to where it is. And I had to buy her. She couldn't go out in the sun. Couldn't do anything. I bought her some umbrella clothes, so she had hats and shirts and umbrellas. In case anybody's doesn't know what that is, it's the same thing that you would see on a boat bimini top that doesn't let the sun rays through. That's made out of umbrella, and the clothing was expensive, but I said, buy whatever you want. I mean, you're not in pain. Who cares? It's amazing how women sometimes with money they'll spend it on the most stupid thing you ever seen, but when it comes down to something, oh, that's an awful lot of money. Yeah, to make you comfortable, it's an awful lot of money. I don't understand women sometimes. But let's see.
Who does?
Did I miss anything while I was rambling? Here's one. Bobby's saying Japan Air 961 in July, 1 stop. Yeah, that was the one I think I was looking at on JetFly. That one that was up there, because it's really weird. When I looked at it the day before I went on Bobby's yesterday, there was a whole bunch of them in the 750 range, and when I went on Bobby's, there was only one, and then the rest of them jumped up to 890, 920, 960, and stuff. But I'm sure that you could find them. Let's see. Jake says the date on his said this was tomorrow. Really? You didn't get notified? Hey, Jake, how you doing?
It's the 26th, Jake. We are tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right, huh?
Yeah, I didn't get a notification. I got the
says watch it. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying anything bad about women. It's just sometimes their judgment on stuff. I'm not saying men's judgments are any better, but my wife's or my experience was they don't want to. If it's for themselves, little stupid stuff. Stupid to me, not stupid to them. They will spend the money. When it's something for their health or something like that, or at least in my experience, they'll be more judgmental on what's expensive and what's not expensive. I don't want to get in trouble with the women. Let's see. Some of us.
I broke my arm. Oh, look at those nice shoes.
Yeah, I tell you what, when I went home and we had a walk-in closet in Central California in my house. It was approximately, I'm going to say, and I'm going to go in feet because that's about 12 feet long, and each side, so there was it was about 3.5, 4 feet wide, and each side there were shoes stacked on top of shoes all the way down each side. And I asked her one time, I go, I always wanted a pair of these Ugg boots. We lived in snow every once in a while. I'm going, those things are pretty cool. And she goes, yeah, they're real expensive. And I said, well, then I don't want them. Right? I come to find out, I'm looking in the closet. I go, but you've got 4 pair. What's with these were on sale, and these were buy one, get 50%, I'm going, okay. There's always a reason. But she had a lot of shoes. And she wasn't really that much of a fanatic with shoes. But I think is it a women thing? Come on, women. So you're going to say no? Or yeah, so she did. And a lot of clothes. I didn't know what. They ended up packing up all the clothes that's in the garage now. My nephew did. I let everybody go through whatever they wanted before I left and came. Whatever you want to take. She'd like to paint stuff, and everybody wants a little something that reminds them of their loved ones, and I let them take whatever they wanted. I wasn't going
Wasn't it
to.
Imelda Marcos that had enough shoes in her closet to give every woman in the Philippines 2 pair?
Yep, that's the
I
one.
think so. I think so.
That's the missus smashing some herbs and spices, Jake.
Hey Daniel, how you doing? Dennerman, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever everybody is. Good evening. Um, but yeah, so let's see.
I hope
Back
not,
on
Gator.
what did Gator say?
I
What
hope Pancake's not getting pounded.
No,
Pancake's been a bad dog.
Pancake's asleep next to me. I can't get more
Oh,
than 2 meters away from her.
let's see. T&W says my wife had shoes and purses in 2 closets. I found out we were selling our stuff to come to Thailand. Some of her shoes never worn. I'll tell you real quick. Yeah, exactly. My wife had clothes in the closet, and I'm not talking just like one blouse or something. She had 30, 40 pieces of clothing that still had the tags on them. She's never worn them. But it's really weird because my wife now, Nitnoy, she loves all these fancy bags, and my wife was really into them. Lewis, whatever it is, Lewis, all these fancy bags, and my her sister took most of them, but she ordered them, and my mom now she's been sending them to my mom's house because she was under the impression and still is that I was going to be going back to the United States every 4 months. And so my mom's got a whole freaking room full of stuff that she's ordered from eBay and everything else in the United States. These bags for me to take back in my suitcase when I come back. But that's been 2.5 years since I've been there. She goes, "Do you think your mom threw them out?" I said, "No, my mom's not going to throw them out. Trust me." Yeah, Louis Vuitton. That's it. That's it. And a bunch of other ones. I can't remember the names of them. My wife. That was one thing she found joy in more than the shoes was the bags. She loved buying bags.
Check out Gator's last comment,
What did he
Dave.
say? What did he say? Dave also used to smash back in the day. Yeah, I did. But it's really weird, man. I enjoyed growing the herb. I haven't partaken in any of it in 45 years, maybe longer. 50 since I was about 17, 18 years old. I my mom had sent me to a thought I was crazy because I didn't want to go to school when I was 17, and I went in there and I was getting in a lot of fights, and it was weird because I wasn't getting in fights with just anybody. Like if I went to if I went to a party with Brock and Brock brought his best friend Chris, I would get in a fight with Chris, going, "What are you looking at?" And be stupid, right? So the therapist said, "Do you smoke weed?" I said, "As much as I can." And "Do you drink?" And I said, "As much as I can." And so they said, "I want you to cut out one or the other." And I cut out the drinking, and I was still doing it. I drank and cut out the weed, and I stopped doing it. So I said, "Okay, enough with that." So it's been 40 years or 45 years. But I did enjoy growing it. That I will admit to that, because still to this day, am I an advocate of smoking it? No, I wouldn't suggest to anybody to smoke it. But edibles and stuff like that for cancer and certain ailments that you have, they haven't even scratched the surface on what that plant will do. Do I think it's a THC? No, I think it's a CBD. I think it's the other the cannabinoids in the plant, because you have receptors in your body for cannabinoids. Now, if you have receptors in your body, wouldn't that tell you that maybe you're supposed to have cannabinoids in your body? So, anyway, I'm a firm believer it should have all been approved medically. When you're given the choice, oh, well, I don't want to take synthetic morphine. Can I eat this plant that's growing out of the ground? Oh, no. That's a dangerous drug.
Crazy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it never made any sense to me on why they wouldn't approve it medically. They could have their other stuff with, totally doing it. That's neither here nor there with me. But as far as for medical use, It should have been approved right out of the gate. I mean,
Yeah.
they've had it since the Egyptians, for Christ's sake, using
Yeah.
it for medicinal purposes. So anyway, so that's my weed rant. But I definitely am pro marijuana,
Yeah,
and I did
absolutely.
enjoy growing it.
For
Like I said,
medical.
nothing better than going into a sealed grow room at a perfect 78 degrees with some music playing in the background, fans blowing. It was the most soothing thing for me at the time. So I did it, and I did it legally in the end.
Good morning,
Somebody say
Craig.
weed. Hey, Uncle, what are you doing, man? You're putting out so many videos, I can't even keep up with them.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't had a chance to check out his channel, he's going to do really well. He's got a great presence about him, and he seems like a really good guy. Looking forward
If
to
anybody's
meeting
got a
him too,
wall to knock down, look at Craig's channel. He shows you how to do it. Give up using
I
the
still haven't
sledgehammer.
got. I still haven't gotten caught up with the pumping of the pond and the fish thing yet. So I gotta get caught up on it. There's Mitch. He's traveling. Although you're not allowed to travel, it's really hard to travel inside of Thailand. Please don't come. It's a horrible, horrible place. All right, that's my
Yeah.
rant on don't come to Thailand. But what did Mitch say? A single will doing a lot of money to spend on me. But anyway, so I do believe in it. It was a good thing. I haven't touched it or grown any of it in, I want to say, it's been 6 or 7 years. It was nice when it was legally able to do it and just get the doctor's deal and attach them to the door and it was much nicer, much easier, not as much stress, I guess. Stress. Yater's saying, what is he saying? I agree with you about the medical. I'm also invested in a company that uses magic mushrooms to treat that. If it does, hey, more power to it. Anything, I think anything that they can give you, whether it be opium or whatever grows out of the ground, has got to be better than what they make synthetically or the morph. I don't know. I guess they make it out of a lot of the plants. I think if you stick on the other end with because I know that I knew a lot of people that had cancer. My wife didn't like it at all. It didn't help her with the nausea. She just didn't like it. But a lot of friends that I had did, and they were happy to have it too. Or were there a bunch of people in the dispensaries wanting to get high? Sure, they're all over. Do I think there's anything matter with that? No, not really. I mean, how many people have you heard of OD'd from marijuana? And I had a friend that died of alcohol. And if he would have been, in fact, he did. He used to smoke it at night, and then he'd drink all day. I said, why don't you just smoke the stuff all the time or eat it? Of course, I told him to eat it, and get rid of the alcohol. And no, at 50, was he 56? 56 years old. Known him since 5th grade. Horrible. Anyway, so I ranted on that.
What's that old joke, Dave?
What's-
Four guys in a room get drunk and have a punch up, and four guys in another room smoking weed and end up starting a band and having a party.
Yeah, exactly. And how many people you see even when they're, I'm not an advocate of anybody, driving intoxicated at all, but the guy that's smoking weed's doing 3 miles an hour. Even if he hits somebody, it's not going to hurt anybody. So it is. I don't think
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, exactly. As far as drugs, that the rating that the United States gave it for years and years and still do, classifying it with heroin. Come on.
Give me a break.
You don't have to be a genius to know it's not in that classification. At the hospital, nurses were telling me you have to eat the weed. Yeah, no smoking, no vaping. They don't know. You know what? Why I say no vaping is because I don't think they know what kind of damage it can do to you. I think you're safer just eating it. It's the best way. Make up. The guys that worked for me back in the day, they used to make butters and stuff like that and brownies. That's what I was saying. I think I said before the highest I ever seen an animal was a dog of one of the guys that had made a whole big gallon bag full of cookies and the dog ate the whole frickin' bag. And the worst thing that happened to the dog is it just couldn't move for about 8 hours. And he babysat it. It was a pit bull, and she was his love of his life. And he sat there with that dog until it got out of it. And I've never heard of a case of an overdose of THC. But
No.
It must stands to reason. Anything you burn and then put in your lungs is not
yeah,
good
it's
for
bad
you.
for yeah. But you know, it was so much fun when we were kids. You know, when I was young with bongs and stuff like that, it was fun. You know, but and we rolled a lot of stuff, and that was back then when the weed was eh. You know, the weed when I was a kid and the weed that was 6, 5, even now, but even 10 years ago, was like night and day. I mean, we used to get Thai stick. That was probably about the best weed that we got when I was young.
It wasn't around that I know of when I was young, but I was too busy running around in the bush chasing snakes.
The worst thing that happened to me was cocaine. In the late 70s or in the 70s, it was just like I could have done without it. And like I said, I quit that cold turkey. And it's been 40 years since I did 35, 40 years since I did that. And I started buying stuff. I think I said it before. Every time that I wanted to go get an 8 ball or something or whatever I was going to get, I went and bought stuff, a camera, skis, and everything. And in a month, my room was full of crap. And I said, okay, I don't need to do this anymore. And I stopped. I was lucky. I've had friends that lost everything, lost their businesses, their wives, their families, everything to that drug. Any kind of powder, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, Jam, it was $199 when I looked at it, Jam. How you doing? 200. Good job.
Oh, look, Tip's in the house. Good morning, Tip.
Oh, is she? How you doing, Tip? I didn't see
Morning.
you. Ah, there you are. I was just asking about you the other day. Had anybody heard from you? Uh, let's see did I miss this? Dip Media. I have an appointment coming for a yearly, and I've asked my doctor to recommend some body scans to get a good picture of my heart, veins, lungs, etc. Well, I told my poor sister-in-law. My wife's mother died at 56. Her dad died at 61, both cancer related. Her brother, who was her life, died at 58. And then my wife died at 60. So the sister, when this all happened after my wife passed, I think she was probably 58 or something like that, 57, 58 then. I said, man, if I were you, I'd be scared shitless. She just looked at me and said, I've already had a full body scan. They've done every test on me possible. So she's being proactive too, and hopefully she doesn't, but that whole family has had just been horrible. Everybody's saying I Tip. Randy. Hey, Randy, I don't know if I said hello to you. How are you doing?
Yeah, Randy managed to sneak in as well.
Yeah. Your wife's killing that pepper.
Yeah, making chili toast.
Oh, is she? That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Nothing,
I've seen some of the
better.
meals she makes you. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. They look. What did I have last time? My wife threatened she could make it for me, but she got me red curry, and she makes excellent masiman, and I really enjoy that, and the curries. But my mother-in-law makes the labmu, and it's great. I love it. Let's see what Miss Moon says. That's a good price. I think prices were cheaper last week. Wish I had pulled the trigger. To New York now in the mid 3,000s. Really? Where is that from? To go from New York to Thailand? That's expensive.
Wouldn't be surprised. It's bloody expensive
Hey,
from
Bruce.
Australia.
How much does it cost from Australia? Hey, Bruce.
Depends who you go with. Haven't seen much under $2,000.
Really? Wow. So I'm feeling lucky at $780 from Bangkok to LAX is fairly decent price.
That's from the East Coast where Brock is. I mean, he's got to lump it across the across the desert to get to Sydney or Melbourne.
And that's what
Yeah,
Brock
they're
was saying. That's why it's so
$3,000
expensive.
in tickets.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, it'd be one thing if you're coming to retire, but Brock's coming to visit, even though it's going to be a fairly long visit. It's still he's going
Yeah,
back,
be there for 3 months.
and then who knows? By then, if Australia gets one case of something, they might lock you down and take you 6 months to get back.
No, it's not going that way. It's going forward now.
Good, good. I hope everybody does. Sorry, I can't mention all of you guys. It's just good to see you. Everybody was kind of worried
Yeah.
about it. You need to just drop in and wave. You don't have to hang if you're busy and stuff. But it's good to see you. I'm glad you came by. That's one of my favorite parts of all my wedding videos and everything that I've seen is when Tip is dancing. So thank you for coming too.
The floods
Oh, but it's
definitely
business
were
class.
over
Okay,
east,
okay. That
around
makes sense.
Queensland and
Business
New
class.
South Wales.
Yeah, the 750 was economy. And I don't know, maybe going back, I don't know how I'm going to handle sitting in that
Morning,
tube
Mitch.
for 18 hours. Mitch saying hello to everybody.
Yep.
And Dip Media is saying, what is he saying? Yes, prices have gone up quite a bit. 1,700 round trip from East Coast. Emirates is more going business, coming 3,600. Yeah, I heard Emirates is really nice though too. It all depends. I mean, if you got the money, why not fly the way you
Good
want to fly?
service. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they're outstanding.
Mitch, go and thank Dow for taking you away from the bar last night.
Western Australia
He's
should
looking
vote
after
for
you.
independence. They're going to
Yeah,
vote
that's
or
true.
fight for independence. I don't know. I know nothing about Australia as far as how they're broken up and what districts or whatever you call them.
States.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. There's how many different states? 52. I don't even know. I'm horrible. But
In America,
in the actual United States, where all there's all that, but none of them are like, oh, this, they're pretty combined on all the way that they stand. And it seems like in Australia, one place says you can't go, you can only go out your door 1 meter, and then another one says you can go 100 kilometers. So I don't understand how they decide, but I guess they're their own governments, right? They have their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Federal and state governments. They
Nice.
they don't see eye to eye a lot of the time.
That's why I'm glad I'm here in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's my new country. I'm not big on the government in the United States either.
At least in
Let's-
Australia, we don't have county police and town police and highway police. We got West Australian police. And
Yeah.
that's it.
They
That's
do it
the whole
all.
lot.
Unless
Yep.
you go to the ACT, and then you got
That's
federal
all.
cops.
Federal police.
Oh, Mr. Minter, it depends on which airlines I fly. Singapore in December it was 19 hours from New York to Singapore. They actually flew over Thailand. 100 Emirates from JFK is much shorter. Yeah, there's when I was flying, and like I said, I won't say that I won't fly them anymore, but I won't fly them anymore. Any China airline, I'm not going to fly. I just won't do it. I'm not even going to say why. I just won't do it. If anybody has seen me before, they know why. I had business to Thailand, but when I brought my dog, they said the dog seats were in the rear of the plane, so I had to cancel and reschedule for the next day. No refund. I had one friend of mine that I met in Costa Rica, the one that actually owned the bar that I started the little Mexican restaurant in. He brought his dogs in, and he had them as service dogs, and they got
Yep.
to sit right with them in the seat. I mean, I don't know if he paid extra or whatever, but I guess if it's a service dog, and I asked him, was it really tough to get the service dog, and he said no, but I don't know what it's like now. Might be different.
In Australia, you can get a service dog on the plane, but it's very difficult to get your dog certified as a service dog. You can't just put a service dog jacket on it.
Yeah, he definitely had paperwork on these 3 dogs that he brought over, and of course he didn't bring them all at once. They were great dogs. He was a good guy. He's a good guy. He's just not in Costa Rica anymore, but neither am I. Let's see what the media is saying. I'll go with Cobus first. Many years ago, very good buddy of mine from Western Australia used to joke about the Republic of Western Australia.
That's no joke. We're digging the ditch down the border right now.
Yeah.
He's saying
Giant rabbit fence.
15 pounds or less can come in the cabin. These dogs were definitely over 15 pounds. They were 2 of them were black labs, and I want to say we're in at 90. Oh, excuse me. And they were flying sitting right there in the seat with him. But this was in 2015 too, so I don't know about now. Got all the time. That's why I get the K1 visa for her prior to coming to the U.S. before the next presidential election in 2020. Yeah, I would get it. The hardest part of putting the dog seatbelt on. Yeah, he didn't seatbelt him in. It's good to know. Yeah, I don't know. When are you planning on coming, Dip Media? I know Dip Media. Misdemeanor. When are you planning on coming? And how long are you planning on staying? And where are you going? Because I want to meet up with everybody. I really have a good time. Dave got married. Yeah, it was a great time, wasn't it? Definitely was fun. I definitely had a good time, and that was probably my first wedding. That was my 4th wedding that I wasn't intoxicated at. So I remember everything. My other weddings, I couldn't tell you half the stuff that happened to me. I vaguely remember dancing on the top of tables at one point during a few of them. But let's see. I upgraded to business class for the flight back and loved it. So if you have the cash, yeah, I would definitely, yeah. If you have the cash, I would. If you don't, you don't. But a lot of the times you can upgrade and get a reasonable or a more reasonable rate. When I was going, I just upgraded to first class on a regular plane going from LAX to Costa Rica. I forget how many hours it was, 6, 7. I can't even remember. And it was a couple $100, and it was just the first class and regular seat. Well, first class seat, but not like business class that they have now on the long distance planes. But it was I always looked for it, 150. Sometimes it all depends. And most of the time they had them. You just had to be to the airport. I got there early, went straight up to the desk, asked them if they had any open ones and could you upgrade, and they would let me know. Sometimes they would send me emails saying, do you want to upgrade? Question, how much the rental car costs in Thailand? I want to say, you know, who bought one, who rented one was Mike's, right? Wasn't it like 10,000 for the month? 300 for the month?
Yeah,
I think.
about that.
And that wasn't a top of the line, SUV gem, but I think somewhere around there, I want to say, depending on what you want, probably 10 and 15,000. So between $300-400 for the month. And I think Mike said that included the extra insurance, everything.
Everything, yeah.
He didn't have to worry about nothing. He could run it off a cliff, whatever, and he was fine. So we can find out. We can find out.
Getting good insurance.
Yeah, definitely have good insurance. But we can find out for sure next time. I'm sure that Chris might probably talk to Mike's before I do. But
I spoke to him 9 minutes ago, and he just hit his hotel room in Bangkok.
yeah, ask him how much the rental car was, and we'll let Jam know. And Dave, hopefully, okay, cool, man. Hopefully it's not when I'm coming back to Bangkok, but planning on staying. 3 months. Okay, I'm only going back for probably 3 weeks. I'm hoping to take my wife, but I don't know. It depends on whether I can get the visas or not. You're saying, Jan, from what I have seen, look for local companies versus Hertz at the airport. Yes, they have Hertz. James Casino. Yeah, James rented quite a few of them too. But See, the flight staff kept reminding me to keep my dogs inside its carrier, but it would have his head out so he could chill. Then I woke up in the night and he was standing in the aisle. Yeah, whatever he did it right because his dog was
Hello.
more comfortable than he was the whole trip.
Little, little bit
And I
more.
could put on. Do you want to come on and say hello, Uncle? Let me know. I'll put up the link if you want to come on. I don't know if you're
Maybe a
the
little
way you
over.
go. I mean, you've got something going
Little
every
bit
day.
over.
You're probably building a house today or digging a moat or whatever you're doing. You do way more than I would do. I'm retired. I don't want to do shit. But if you
Okay.
want to come on, I'll put the link in. Hey James, how you doing?
Take some
Sam.
painkillers and go have a lie down, Bob.
Is he? Why? What happened? Is he getting? Oh, there he is. Later, yeah. Go lay down. Relax.
Sorry, Mr. Mina. We drove on the correct side of the road. It's going to start a
I
fight.
tell you what's really weird now is I'm so used to driving on that side of the road here. It's almost my side of the road now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious when I do go back how long it's going to take me to get used to. I think Mike said it wasn't bad for him, or no, who was it that went? Chuck went. Who dropped out? Joe?
Joe.
Joe dropped out, yeah.
Okay. I will step out. Okay. You don't have to, Joe. You could have stayed in. You can come back in. You have the link. I'll put the link in anyway, in case somebody wants to come in. Let's see. Where's based? Okay. There you go. I thought you guys would enjoy. What did you put? What did Xanderman said? I heard that the Thai government put a restriction on burning season in March. April could be really smoky. All the farmers might be waiting for April. Yeah, I don't know. It always gets smoked. Not too bad here. I haven't noticed. Hey Lewis, how you doing? I haven't noticed, but we were talking about it because Traveler, his wife has MS, I think it is, and he's been taking care of her for years and years and years. And he's trying to get here, but it's so expensive to get a plane. He's thinking about going to Mexico, and because he can drive to Mexico. But I guess in order to take care of her and coming here. But anyway, he was thinking about going to Chiang Mai, and I had told him you better check into the burning because he was going there for the cooler air and the better breathing, and which probably would be okay 9-10 months out of the year. But for those other months, be careful with it. But I hope he finds somebody. Now, James did put him in touch with a lady for transportation, so I don't know if that's completely off the table yet, but they're still trying to find out. And Lewis says, take a siesta, Robert. I thought you guys would enjoy that. But I probably missed something. I would drop in one, but my wife is yelling at her phone. Her father can't hear. All right. I have the little man in my... Oh, okay. You got the little one in your arms? You bet.
Yeah, that last comment from Joe could be taken in so many ways. Many of them not so good.
Hey, why you tripping? How you doing? Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Let's see.
Mike's last comment, laughing my ass off. The air quality is so horrible and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Here we go, Traveler saying everything I found out about Chiang Mai says that you are correct about the burn season things. Yeah, hopefully you can find, like I said, when I was down in Phuket, and I'm going to probably say it wrong, Railway, okay? That was where that place I was telling you about, close to the ocean. It was awesome. They had doctors on staff, and it sounds like you have the money to take care of her and put her in a very good place, and for you to live your days out, both of you. So I'm hoping that you find out if anybody in the chat knows of a way or an airline or something that specializes and has something reasonable rates. By all means, get a hold of Traveler or drop it in here on what they are. And she really wants to come to Thailand because of the stuff she's watching on YouTube. she's liking the shows that are the channels that she's seeing. So very cool.
Where's Traveller located?
He's in Lancaster, by where I believe, right, outside of Los Angeles.
Okay.
About where I was in the San Fernando Valley, about a hour or so drive with no traffic.
Okay.
It's more like the desert, and I'm imagining he's there for the dry air type
Yeah.
stuff for her. See you guys next time. All right, Tip, thanks for coming by.
See you, Tip.
Glad to hear you're okay too. But yeah, definitely. Let's see. What did Andy say? Andy said, cost me around 1,500 Aussie car rental for 5 weeks in Thailand. That's not driving in Bangkok. So what is 15 Aussie
1,500 Oz. That's
in baht?
multiplied by 25.
25,000.
So it's 24 to around about 40 odd thousand baht.
40, really? You must have got a fancy one, because I'm almost positive that Mike's was 10,000.
Yeah.
I'm almost
It was
positive.
about 10, 12, something like that,
Yeah,
with all the
something like that.
insurances.
Walkabout Wayne just posted a video today about burning season. Yeah, I want to go to Chiang Mai, but I'm definitely not going to plan on going during the season. But if anybody's planning on going there, there's a bunch of videos out there about that train that goes from Bangkok there that has the overnight sleeper. It just seems like kind of a different way, to get there. I think it would be fun for the family to do that instead of flying. But let's see, rowing.
37,500 baht, roughly.
Oh, okay. For 5 weeks. But he probably got top of the line. I don't know what he got, Andy. Sounds like a lot to me, but it is expensive. But I think Mike got a good deal. And I think James probably got a intermediate deal. So you might want to check with James, too. We can check Jam. Well, is one of my. It's absolutely gorgeous. I loved it there, too, Andy. Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Good morning, Mark.
Yeah, I missed it. What? Oh, look at that. He's actually written in lowercase letters. I've never
Ron,
seen you do that before.
Wow.
He's always in caps.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting
that's cool.
for Shelley to get back to me. I think that it's very difficult for her to line up transportation. I'm sure it's not going to be easy, but anything that anybody can do to help, let us know. We'll try. I'll keep trying to think of ways. I've got feelers out there on people, checking and seeing. Hey, Baldy, how you doing? Glad you could stop by. Everybody's saying hi to everybody, which is always cool.
Yes, Joe, I did, and I told him to get some sleep.
Robert or Mike's?
Mike's.
Okay, I missed that. I'm way behind. How did I get that far behind? Wow. Okay. I guess when it gets to be 40, I lose control. Let's see.
What's that, 40 years old or 40 people?
40 people in the room. Yeah, 40 years old, too. Let's see. What is Jake saying? Mark in Thailand someday. He'll sign into his autograph and T-shirt Wombat Barn. Yeah, I didn't see. Is Mark here? I didn't see Mark.
Yeah, Mark's there.
Yeah,
I've been
morning,
doing
Mark.
He's been doing eye exercise. Hey, I don't mind the caps. I can read them better, Ron. I'm I'm visually challenged. So
Join the club.
yeah. So anyway, to bring you up, I really think that the Thai kitchen is going to be done tomorrow. So I'll have a video out tomorrow on it. The only thing that's going to probably need to be done, everything's smooth coated on the outside, just needs to be painted. Everything inside is done. So that'll be cool. So I'll have a video on that. Then I'm going to do that outside area to where the clothes are going to dry, cover that. That'll be the next deal. Then the plunge pool, then the pond, then the building. But I might take a month off in between. On, I believe, Wednesday, my wife's going to set it up. We're going to take the children, my in-laws, and me and Nitnoy are going to go back to the school We have the 2 extra tables, the badminton nets, the tennis nets, the volleyball nets, the volleyballs, the soccer balls, the badminton sets, and a bunch of stuff. Anyway, we're going to take that over there and let the kids be involved with maybe setting it up or putting it together. So I'll do a little short video on that, and then I'll check out the playground again. The next thing that we do there will be the playground equipment because a lot of it's unsafe. So I want to try to do that as soon as possible, as soon as I can. So I will do that, and then the vacation. I'll be gone from the 2nd, so that'll be cool. And I'll probably do. I'm gonna take this setup. I'll take the laptop with me, and I'm still gonna continue to do every other day. I don't see any reason why not. It's only a hour and a half, every other day, so no big deal. Hey, there's
Just
Mark.
make sure you label the plugs, Dave.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, that's what I like about this microphone and stuff. It's that, USB, boom,
Yeah.
plug, and I'm done.
Way
And
to
then I
go.
have the one like this that I bought the extra one to travel with, so I'll have everything. I probably won't bring the light. I don't see any reason for that. You guys don't want to see me that, but it might be better without. Is that better? You can't see me as
Just
clearly?
change. No, it just
Or is
changes
it
the
better like
tone.
this? Better like this?
No, it just changes the color palette.
Dave, you are making retirement sound too much. Yeah, it has been with this house. I will say that. Plus, every, out of pocket, everything that I've had for the past year has went into this house. And I've got quite a minute out of pocket that I would usually use for traveling, extra stuff, whatever. And it's quite a bit of money. But it's been fun. It's been aggravating, but it's been fun. And the end deal, the smiles on my in-laws and the smiles on my kids' face, my wife's face, having this house, their own place, brand new, everything works. They're happy. That makes it worthwhile. So it is a little bit of work, but it's starting to slow down. I think I'll take a month off.
Careful,
There's
Dave.
my wife.
I was going to say,
Same.
I just saw your missus in the chat.
She's right over there.
Careful.
So hey, John, how you doing? I just saw John.
Back in a minute. Got to make a coffee.
What, did I miss anything else? No. But yeah, but it is, Traveler, but it's rewarding, put it that way. It's definitely rewarding. All the stuff that I get because of you guys, giving the stuff so my wife could take it out and do what she wants to with that, which is go to the kids. The smile on her face, the kid's face. When my in-laws went to that last one that I made the video on, I mean, they were smiling from ear to ear. They watched it on when I did the video. They've watched it 2 or 3 times on the big screen in the living room. So it's everything that I've been doing and the stuff that I've had ever since I've come to Thailand has been a godsend. And the people that I've met have also been. Saying hello to my wife. She gets so excited when Jake posts like this. She laughs her rear end off when she. Here Ron's back to Capitals. We took the train from to 7.
Oh dear, looks like Dave's had a power outage. Well, it's a bit difficult to talk at the moment. There's a blender going. And I seem to be the only one here talking. See.
Okay, now.
Okay, see you, Cobus. Have a great weekend. Traveller 44, your screen hasn't frozen. It's the Dave seems to have had a power loss, which has wiped him out. Yeah, Ron, it does seem like it's my show now. Or we can just go listen to Bangkok FM, people. It looks like a nice trip. I've seen a few of those train trips run, John. The first class sleepers. It looks like a good way to go.
Hello,
I,
everybody there? Can you hear me?
Dave,
Yeah, I'm back up.
No,
I'm on my hotspot. I lost power, so the
Yep.
power's back on, but I decided to go to that because it takes a while for the other one to boot up. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guy.
That's all right.
Let's see. We
Expat-
took the train. Yeah, it's supposed to be
Expat
pretty
Pete,
cool, right? What's that?
Yeah, expat Pete. I'm not any relation to Peter Brock.
Peter Brook.
Peter Brock's a very well-known racing car driver in Australia.
Did you see what my wife wrote? How dare her?
Yeah, you're letting out the cigarettes.
Yeah, she's quite a comedian, but yeah, I don't know. Only for 10 seconds it went off.
When am I
Paid
going
the
another
electric
beach
bill.
trip? I'm not sure, Gary.
Is everybody? I seen T is here. Hey T, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, T.
Uh,
There we are. There's my
Clovis.
last beach trip anyway. T's getting a bit cheeky, I think. Singing
is?
a song, really?
Who's
I
singing?
don't
the
think
song?
that's going to happen. There's Chris. He's back.
Yeah. Just had to get. I was going to get coffee, but yeah, Coke Zero instead.
You didn't miss much. I lost connection. The
Yeah,
power
the power went out.
power went out for
All right.
half a minute, 30 seconds.
Yeah. I had
Thank
that
God
the other week.
this is now I'm on, and this is the one that I'll be bringing with me. This is the TOT SIM card that I have in here, and I can run my live streams off of it. So it's kind of cool. Hey Martin, how you doing? I'm back. Had to change computers. Everybody's back. Well, that's kind of cool. There's still 33 people here. Thanks for hanging in. She's having
Where's
fun
Gator?
because she's off today. What's that?
Oh, there's Gate. Yeah, Gate is still here. Why aren't you on? Come on.
His wife's on the phone.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yelling
Oh,
at her
Jake?
father and
Yelling,
father.
yelling on the phone. Okay.
I guess her father doesn't hear so well.
Thanks, Gator.
When the power went out, we were going redirect. So now Mike's is back in Bangkok.
Yep, he
Cool.
got to the hotel room about 30 minutes ago. Everything went smooth. We were talking all night while I was working as well. So, standard 3.5 hour flight from Manila and all that stuff. So, Zoom through, customs, immigration, all that sort of stuff. Got his tests on the way to the hotel, and he's kicking back at the moment.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who's
Happy
Dave?
camper.
GottoLoveThailand. We also have TOT here in my city, Thousand Oaks. Yeah, no, different than that, Randy. Of course, it's not TOT anymore. What is it called now? NT. Okay, NT.
NT.
So it's not TOT anymore because they combined with CAT. That was also owned by the government. And I want to say 3-4 months ago, 5 months ago, they became one company, which is now called NT. So I don't know if they'll advertise that. I'm surprised everybody knew TOT. So I don't know what they're going to do as far as advertising and such. Well, people came back at 39 now. Thanks for coming back, everybody. Appreciate it. Hey, Patty, how you doing? Do I have any friends in Phuket? Um, Kinda. I mean, I met a few people in Kamala. Rob's there. I met him once. He's a YouTuber. 20 seconds in Thailand. I really liked Phuket. In fact, I kind of talked Mitch into doing the sandbox there when he came here, which I guess has been 6 months now. And he ended up spending like 2 weeks longer than he needed to. He really liked it and went around there. I like Phuket. Mine just failed from the beginning this morning. I missed something. I'm trying to get caught. I think I'm caught up. Brock, Payne, Rain.
Yes, going Grays. Yeah. If someone's still in there, it holds up for a while.
So yeah, because I've done that before, and I've even longer than that, because I went kind of quick. I had my wife toss me my little phone, and I tried to go on the house one, and it still wouldn't connect. I probably would now, but I'm not going to even bother with it. I'll leave it on my little iPhone 7. But it works good. I did it when I was in Pattaya. All the live streams that I've done away from home have all been through that little phone. So it works pretty good.
Couldn't tell the difference, Dave.
No, it works fine. I thought sometimes when you have multiple people on, or I guess that's bandwidth, right, or whatever you have.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could get a little bit critical, but it seems to be working good. Of course, my connections are good at the house here too. But I can't remember what kind of connection I had when I was at Serenity. I think they had decent internet. I'll have to find out. What did I? Streaming, come back and then good to know. Yeah, but I don't know. I just put that up on Grace. I don't know what it's like on YouTube. I've only experienced losing internet on StreamYard, and StreamYard does hold it.
Yep.
For definitely is.
YouTube holds up for a little while.
Does it?
Yeah, the other day when Nikki was doing her live test,
Right.
when she finally got it shut down, the chat stayed up for quite a while, probably good 15-20 minutes. So
What kind of problems was she having with the? Was her internet, right? Is what somebody told me.
she was just out with her phone, and she couldn't shut the stream down. Had to power the phone off.
It's like I was married, my wife would keep talking. You see what Xanderman wrote? It's like when I was married, my wife would keep talking even when I left the room. I was amazing when I was watching sports and into football and NASCAR and all that kind of stuff. My wife finally was in tune to me that there was absolutely useless to talk to me unless there was a commercial on. Otherwise, I could completely zone her out. She could be talking, I didn't hear nothing, and she laughed about it because she had a pretty good sense of humor. Women could get really pissed and have at me, and prior to that, but she was a good one. She had a lot of weird things that most women won't. I used to really enjoy smoking good cigars, and I had a humidor and I had everything, and she was the only one. I mostly would smoke them outside, but she would want me to smoke it inside and blow the smoke into her face. And every other woman, well, one other woman that I knew, she smoked cigars, but my wife loved the smell of the smoke. But now I figure, I'm afraid. I almost thought about maybe getting a couple of good cigars, and I'm going, man, I might trigger something and start smoking, and then I'll be dead in no time. So I'm not going to do that. Is Traveler leaving? Did I miss that?
Yeah,
Gotta
I
go.
think he's just bailed
All
out.
right,
Yeah.
Traveler.
See you, Traveler.
Have a good one.
See you later.
We'll keep up the try to keep up the look for transportation. Everybody keep their ears and eyes open, and hopefully we can get him. She wants to come, so does he. So let's see what we can do to make that come true. How do you handle taxes in the U.S.? I haven't had to yet. The two retirement deals that I have, one of them is a non-taxable, and the other one is my Social Security. So I haven't had to. Now, when I start collecting this new one that I was supposed to collect on the 1st of January, that my wife is going to get after I pass, I'm probably going to have to pay some. As far as I know, they have attorneys here or tax people here that can handle it, or whoever you were using in the U.S. prior can do it. And I could probably do it myself if I wanted to. So I'll find out, but I don't think it's all that difficult. I know Chuck does it. If you want to ask him, that's No Time to Be Sad. He'd probably give you a heads up on what to do, but I don't think it's that big a deal, Martin. Phuket is great. So many places to see. I was there for 8 months and didn't run out of stuff that I didn't. I mean, and it was pre-virus stuff, so I had a great time. I really liked it. A lot of people say they don't like Phuket, and I don't understand that. But to each their own. Richie and Maybell, they got a good channel. I watch them occasionally. I like both of them. They both have good personalities. My biggest thing when I watch somebody is the personality, believe it or not. Content too, of course, but I don't know, people that strike me as good, straight up, that when I go meet them, they're going to be exactly like I see them. And I kind of got that through Mitch, because Mitch went and saw them when he was in Phuket. But I like that. They both seem like this is what you get, and they seem like good people. Question.
Yes, Jam, it
I have
does.
a golf bag counting as a loaded bag. Jim wants to take his golf bag.
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of your bags. Let's see. I file by myself, send it to the U.S. easy. Yeah, it is easy, right? Yeah, I don't think you're going to have any problem. Skater, Richie and Maybell, Cafe. Yeah, they're doing a barbecue and stuff too. I'm sure the people probably watch them. They have quite a few subs. TurboTax is what I just used, no problem. Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem. Is Phuket more expensive? Yes, definitely. Yes. Definitely more expensive. Probably one of the most expensive places in Thailand to live. Is it horrible? No, it's all relative again too, Zen. What's expensive to me is not going to be, maybe is or isn't going to be expensive to Chris, or isn't going to be. Everybody's got their own idea. Like when I was there, it was pre-virus. I found I was supposed to move into it. I ended up moving to Surin with my wife. 1 bedroom, all glass, way up in the side of the mountain. But you did have a peekaboo view of the ocean. Nothing great, but really nice scenery, everything. Really nice condo. It was 18,000, and that included water. I had to pay electricity. But prior to that, I had a little 1 bedroom down in the flatlands, right on the other side of the road there, the main drag, and it was 10,000, and that included water and internet. It included everything. So you can find stuff. But I want to say, for the most part, Phuket is probably the most expensive place to live in Thailand. There's Jake. Hey, Jake.
Hey,
Hey, Black Sheep. How you
there
doing?
he is.
You made it.
We're done yelling at Dad.
To go
So-
on socially,
I'm here.
socially depraved. Let's see. Phuket is expensive. Yeah, like I said, it's all relative. It's expensive to me because, especially right now. I mean, you could go to, like I said, John. Depends on where you want to live. John Tiem, Pattaya, whatever it is, and get a place like 30 and a Wake Up Kevin's got, with a view and everything. And what is he paying, 20 or something like that? So you can get some really good deals. And the best thing about it, if you're going to move here and you're going to be here long term, and you're going to even maybe move here for retirement, you could probably get somebody into a 2 or 3 year, lease on one of those ones and get them down to, something really nice in the 15 to 18 range, and lock it in for. If it was me and that's where I wanted to stay, I'd lock it in for as long as I could. But it's up to you. What
it seems that's the
think
way to
about
go. If you're doing a planning long term, work out over the year, and that's money coming in.
Yeah. What does everyone think about Samui? I'm gathering that's supposed to be koi, ko. Actually, they don't pronounce it. They pronounce it something else. That the island you're talking about, right? Misdemeanor. I'm imagining. Great. It's a nice place.
Lovely place.
Yeah. And Ron's saying he likes it. 10 o'clock. Good night. All right, Jim. Thanks for hanging, man. I really appreciate it.
Hi, Jam.
We're gonna go semi-lease
Bye,
soon
Jam.
anyway. It's been an hour, over an hour and a half. Well, it's when you're having fun, it just goes by quick, doesn't it?
We had
Chris,
some good
always
topics
wanted to
tonight too,
ask
Dave.
what's that? I'm sorry.
I said you had some good topics. I really enjoyed the whole medical marijuana and mushrooms discussion, to be honest with you, because I have a lot of friends and colleagues that suffer from PTSD and some traumatic brain injuries and things. I mean, they
They
all
get relief,
serve.
man.
They all serve.
And how they
multiple-
could keep something from anybody that gives them relief is beyond me.
Well,
I
and
don't see how it's
to,
even
to be honest
possible.
with you, and I agree with a lot of the comments. I think Xanderman said it. One of the things that the Veterans Administration likes to do here in the United States is throw drugs at people, and they have no problem throwing painkillers at people, opioids.
Opioids.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing in the world, man.
And like you said, if there's something natural that grows up out of the ground that can help somebody in the same respect
Yeah.
and alleviate that, then why in the hell aren't we doing it? Well, the answer is you're not taxing and regulating it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not regulated.
I mean, follow the money. It's not about
Yeah, you
doing
got
the right thing.
The
It's
biggest
about
the biggest
make
part
money.
of all of it is the pharmacies can't patent a plant.
Yeah.
So they can't make the money on it. If they find out that a certain part of this plant cures cancer, do you know how much money the pharmaceutical industry would lose?
But Dave,
Billions
here's the
and
thing,
billions and billions of money.
you can trademark a strain of a plant. And how do I know this? Because I know this is going to sound hard to believe. There are celebrities that trademark certain strains of cannabis to be sold in the states where it's recreational.
Yeah, I think Snoopy Dogg does. Or whatever
He
his
does
name
that.
is.
Here's
Soupy
the
Dog,
funniest
Snoop
one.
Dogg. Soup Dog.
That young guy that played, well, he's not young anymore, played Urkel, Steve Urkel.
Oh yeah.
He's got one called Urkel Purple that he sells and that he hawks, and it's trademarked under his name, but it's a specific.
But they don't. They care about what they're going to get out of the plant as far as THC. Yeah, it's always been pharmaceuticals. Always. It was the government for the longest time, because when they first gave money for it to be tested, they said, okay, let's make sure, let's have this thing tested so we can tell everybody that it doesn't do anything. And all of a sudden they started getting results back. Well, the tumors have actually shrunk. All right, stop. Not doing any of that anymore. No more government testing. No more nothing. And they did that for a
control
long
that
time.
Big Pharma has over our lives is amazing. That they
It is.
sponsor
It is.
tests. If you look, the necessity to take statins, they keep lowering the blood pressure requirement to say what normal is about every 10 years, so that they can get you on statins or cholesterol levels, excuse me.
I think
And it's when you look back into things. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist,
That's right, Ron.
but and Ron, I'm going to address that in a second. Um, the the pharmacy industry is the ones that's sponsoring these studies and then getting the results that benefits the pharmacy itself. So I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to make commentary on it. I'm going to leave it right here. In 2015, the foreign company who got the #1 award in Thailand, or excuse me, not in Thailand, in China, for being the most respected and prosperous foreign country operating in China was Pfizer. Just leave
Yeah, I
it
don't
right
doubt
there.
that. Yeah, I don't doubt. What is Black Sea? What do you? Oh, you answered. Yes, it's comfy for streams. You do look comfortable though. Let's watch Up and Smoke. That actually is a good movie. Um, let's see. Thank you for coming to TED Talk, Grace. Um,
Go to Jake's TED Talk, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They have for years and years and years, and they just don't want. They want to make the drug that's gonna whatever that the doctor's gonna tell you to take. That's all they want. They want to be able to do it. I always pass the grass if someone my house makes up for stuff. Yeah, like I said, man, I used to give it away when I was doing it. I would always give to the dispensaries a certain amount, saying if anybody comes in terminal, please give it away. And I trusted that they would, and they did. Like I said, people go, well, you're just giving, you're doing this, and people are getting high, and you can't stop that. They're going to come in there and get high, but there's those certain people that come in there, and they get relief from cancer, from sickness, from being sick, from the and those people are the ones that I want to do. The thing that pissed me off, and one of the reasons I stopped. They went from they cut the price of a pound in half, okay, and the eighths and the stuff that they sold on the ass end of their deal never got affected. It was the same price, and I said, how the hell can you do this and still sell it the same? You're buying from me at half the cost. And they said that's business, and I go, here's my business. And I left, and I stopped, and I shut down, and because it wasn't fair, it wasn't right, So the poor, the guys that were getting high, let them pay whatever they got to pay. The people that are coming there that are actually ill, they should be getting it for nothing. The government ought to be giving it to them. So anyway, there goes my rant on marijuana again.
Big pharmaceuticals, mate. They're the worst.
There they are. They're absolutely. The billions and billions and billions of dollars they make. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about the cholesterol healthy level being lowered by the medical community over the past day. Interesting. I didn't either. So, very true, Black Sheep. What is this? What did Randy say? A second, it's just like drinking coffee. Contradicts the previous study. Yeah, I don't, and I don't know where their studies and stuff come from or go, but I think eventually they're going to make well, they already are in the States. I think it's going to be completely decriminalized here in Thailand. I'm talking about marijuana. It's pretty close to that right now. But
that's actually amazing, seeing as they used to throw people in jail for life for it before.
Exactly. Whenever I tried smoking, I received opposite effects than normal. Maybe I'm allergic to it. Well, don't smoke it, first off, and definitely take an edible of some kind, and take very little to start with.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that went to Amsterdam, and he thought if a little was good, a little more was better. Yeah, it didn't work out well for him, man. He had some bad reactions.
The first time I took acid. I only took it about 3 or 4 times when I was young, and I'm talking 18 years old, and it was window pane, which is a real speedy acid, and they cut. It was a they dropped it on the paper. It was a blotter, and they cut it
Mine
in
is not
quarters.
acid
And
tape.
he gave it to me, and they said, "Take it and wait. It'll take like you'll feel it. Just take a quarter." Well, I took a quarter. I waited about 10 minutes. I took another quarter. I waited another 10 minutes. Took another quarter. I ended up taking the whole hit, and then 45 minutes later, man, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like anything that I wasn't in control of, and that means that when at nighttime, when I looked up, I was looking at the back of a camper, and I looked up real quick to the sky and saw the door, and then the door swung open, and all these colors started shooting out of the door. I had to close my eyes. I said, "That's enough." And then when I stopped the second or third time, I think I only took it three. I
Did
used to have to
somebody
work
mention?
with the bastard of an old man that I had, and we did. He did tree trimming,
Come on.
and he'd get up at the break of dawn, and he. I had this little lamp in my room, and I had taken acid, and I was looking at my clock. Was one of those ones. I don't know if you remember them, the ones that have the little dials the little pieces that flip down, click, click,
Yeah.
and they're like plump,
They're
plump.
digital
Anyway,
flips.
yeah, but they're actual little things, that
They're
flip
like
over.
tiles, little
Yeah,
tiles.
exactly. So I'm looking at that, and right above it is a lamp, and I see these two little hands come around it, and this monkey was pulling his head out.
See you,
So I
black sheep.
closed my eyes. I laid there all night and watched that freaking little clock click because I didn't want to look any other place until 5:30 in the morning when the old man came in and woke me up to go to work and got up and go to work. And after that, I think I was 19, 18, 19. I said, "Okay, enough of that drug."
Dave, you need to write a book about that chapter in your life. I'd read it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't read as much as I should, but I'm reading. Simon, Land of Smiles.
yeah,
Did you
yeah,
ever tune into?
yeah.
He
I
wrote a
liked him.
book.
Yeah.
He wrote a book and published it recently on Amazon about being a bar manager in Pattaya
Uh-huh.
and a cab driver in England and the UK. It's good
I'll tell
reading.
you what.
He's a
I'm
great
watching right
storyteller.
now. They got me watching snowfall. Okay, and I'm watching this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's about the blacks and cocaine and everything in the 70s, right? And I'm looking at that, and they're in South Central. They're in the San Fernando Valley. They're everything. The one that I grew up during that period. That was the period, and they're all killing each other, of course. But the one thing that I remember back then, I don't know if you ever seen that movie called Blow, and I think it was Johnny Depp was in it or something. The movie Blow.
I think you're right.
That one they started marijuana and then they brought in cocaine. I met that guy. I went up and he had kilos of cocaine, and I met him one time up around the lake in Chatsworth, and I never had any experience with him. After all, I got a bad feeling when I was there. I didn't want anything to do with the guy. I was with some other people, and we left. But yeah, a lot of that stuff. It's really weird because these movies and these shows that you see, they're from the San Fernando Valley, outside of Los Angeles or Los Angeles. That was my stomping grounds, my whole youth. So that was what I was experiencing in the 70s and 80s. Was a massive amount of cocaine. There was, and what's really weird now, and I don't follow it or I don't do it and I don't do anything with it. But back then, crank or speed was cheaper than cocaine. Now my understanding is by a lot now, crank is more expensive than cocaine. It flopped. I don't know why. I don't have a clue because
Market value.
yeah, because I guess they have a
Drives
problem
everything.
making. They were stealing. They make it from those antihistamine deals, right, or something. Anyway, I guess they have a hard time getting it now. So maybe that's why the price went up. It's easy to get the cocaine. I don't know. It was a bad drug, man. Like I said, a lot of people and friends died, lost their everything they owned, their wives, their kids, everything. They had houses, businesses. It was a horrible time in the late 70s, early 80s. It was not a good.
I remember some of that. I wasn't wrapped up in it, and I'm 10 years younger than
Luckily,
you,
I
Dave.
got
So
luckily I got away from it when I was young. I want to say the last time that I probably did any kind of drugs, I was probably mid to late 20s, maybe 27, 28, something like that, and I stopped, and that was enough
so
of
you
that.
were talking. Did somebody mention Up in Smoke, the movie, earlier
Cheech and
Yeah,
in the
Chong.
chat?
Yeah.
Joe did, I
Right,
think.
Cheech and Chong. And then you were mentioning taking acid. There's a scene in that movie where Tommy tells him to take something, and he goes, and he takes it, and he goes, no, 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 wait, don't take that, don't take that. He goes, what? I just swallowed it. And he
Too
says,
late,
and he
dude.
starts laughing. And he says, "You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat." And it's a funny
Yeah,
scene
that's
if you
enough to
just
get
type
you.
it into YouTube.
The
Up and
one thing
Smoke
that I did too,
acid.
one of the three times
There,
I took it, I went back to, I was in or out of high school, or last year of high school maybe, and we went back to our junior high school and walked around the campus, and of course we got thrown out, but just high as you could possibly be, and the teachers of course knew us because we weren't exactly the quiet type when we went to junior high, and everybody knew our names, the three of us that went there. So they immediately escorted us off the campus. What is Randy saying? Question: did you ever visit? Yeah, yeah, I did. And I didn't visit. Only the one time I visited, he wasn't there. But friends of mine would horseback ride up there all the time, Randy, and tell me about this weirdo freaking guy's eyes and everything about Manson. And they used to go up there and party with him and smoke dope and drink and whatever drugs. They were actually two years older than me. They actually ended up going to Vietnam. They were 2.5 years older, I think. I'm trying to think. They were older brothers of my friends, which I
Oh,
kind of always hung out with.
yep.
I always went with the older brothers of my friends. Um,
I got to go, guys. I got to do some work on the car.
you sure you're not going to make meatballs and you don't want to let us see and tell us how
No,
good
no,
they
no,
are? All right.
no,
All
no
right, brother.
meatballs.
Thanks for coming in. Have a good one. I'm
Have
going
a
to go
good one,
pretty
bro.
soon now.
See you
It's
later.
8 more minutes to a 2 hour mark, so I'll go to the 2 hour mark and do that. But see, what somebody was saying, what was the best time? ET's saying 70s are the best times. I had a great time growing up. I was, let's see, 56, 66,
Yeah,
76. I
wrong.
was 20. So in the my era was in the mid 70s, and it wasn't a bad time to grow up, but there was a lot of drugs, man, and especially in where I was outside of Los Angeles. It was it was tough to. That's why I'm saying I look back at it. I'm 65 years old and I'm still alive. I'm like in totally amazed. Mid 80s, early 90s was a fine time for crack. Yeah, in New York. Yeah, no kidding. And that's what this movie Snowfall is. He supposedly was the person that figured out or got the first recipe of making cocaine into rocks, into crack, and then got everybody addicted to the most addictive stuff on the planet. And to bring bad memories. Yeah, it wasn't a. It was fun, when I was riding motorcycles, fast lane. Uh, all I wanted was women, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's all I wanted, and I did that for a few years until I smartened up. Like I said, I'm surprised. I'm total
you were
amazed.
either kicking ass or chewing bubble gum and found
Yeah, that's
yourself
it.
out of
Eh,
bubble gum many
Yeah,
times.
it was. Yeah. And it was. That's why I look at myself now and I'm going 65. I never thought I'd make 35. So I've got so many extra years so far. That's why I said is there things on my bucket list? Sure, but most of them are travel destinations, not
Right.
things that you would do in your lifetime. I want to be, do this with this, all
You
travel
don't you don't have any
destinations.
thrill stuff that you need to do.
No, I've done it
You
all
ate it
pretty
all
much.
up.
Everything that I wanted to do, I did. Nothing held me back. I mean, it was like no fear. You don't. I don't know. It was weird, but like I said, I'm in total amazement now. So hopefully I'll go. I'll go a few more years, and my wife wants me to go to be 100, but that ain't gonna happen. But
Hey, I just
and like I
noticed
said,
something.
what's that?
Chris is wearing a Chris Parker
Oops.
retired working for you awkward shirt. That is awesome. I'm usually so observant. If you don't watch Chris Parker and all the good stuff that he does, he's
You
an
got to give back,
awesome
mate.
he is an awesome human being. He's a great person.
If you can't be
As
there, you got
far
to give back.
He do. E.T., I agree. Woodstock, that's my music. Everything that I listened to, even through the 70s and 80s, was all 60s rock and roll. And if you weren't in, I want to say the best music was being made in either the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles area, or Seattle, would be my two choices for the best music that was being made. But it was a fun time to grow up, no doubt. Because what would I have been in '69? I was 13. 13. I was 13 in '69. So it was definitely fun. And was I doing a lot of crap when I was 13 years old? Yeah, a lot of shit I shouldn't have been doing. But it was fun. But I still I'm totally fentanyl. So,
Yeah, it's
fentanyl lures.
don't get me started on that. I mean, the raw
Yeah.
materials coming out of China into, you know,
Is that the painkiller?
Yeah.
yeah, extremely strong. He's talking
Flowing
That's
that's
the
across
one that
just
my wife
grains of
had
it'll kill you.
fentanyl. She had fentanyl patches that she
Yeah.
would put on her back. That's how much pain she was in. She ended
That's
up getting up off all of that. It's really weird because what ended up her stopping drugs was because she became so constipated that the pain from the constipation was worse than the pain in her back. So
Yeah.
because all the opioids, this fentanyl, all the drugs just completely shut her system down, and she like tight and just horrible, and she ended up getting off of them. But she was pretty much addicted. I was with her in bed, and I helped her through everything, and she woke up in the morning. I'm sweating. I don't know what's wrong. I said, I do. I've seen it before. You're going through the DTs.
Yeah.
It's just what's going to happen. And she did a good job. I was very proud of her. Very proud of her. But yeah, she had a hard life, that woman. Jimi Hendrix, yeah, you bet, Mark. I was 6 in '69. Yeah, so I was double. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun growing up in the San Fernando Valley. And like I said, that's where, in case people are from other parts of the country or whatever, whenever you see American graffiti or any kind of cruise nights or whatever, that came from Van Nuys Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley. That's where it all originated, and it was a
But
good
you
place
also
to
had
go.
all the disco stuff in New York there, Dave. So there was that East Coast, West Coast thing, right?
We started
Like
getting
the
it, and
like the rappers have. The studio,
I could still
what was it,
remember
Studio
going to 'em.
54, was it?
Yeah, they had more back east in New York, definitely. But we
American
had
Bandstand, Soul
God, my ear's
Train,
itching.
right?
This past week, local police busted 7 guys
Holy
with
shit.
50,000
Quarter jar.
pills, 45 pounds of meth. Wow,
Damn.
wow, and they think that they've got some kind of a control of the drugs. Please,
No.
By the way,
that-
Randy's profile picture doesn't do that head of hair justice. That guy's got some lettuce, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, saw it the other day on a stream somewhere.
Exactly.
punk rock. Yeah, you know what I couldn't understand on the punk rock thing, and the deal was that what are they called? What were they called? Mosh pits, where everybody would just run and slam into each other.
Yeah, that came
And I'm
later.
going, how is this going to work? Because it happened to me once, and what did I do? I started just knocking
Punching
people out.
people.
Yeah, and then they say, oh, you can't do that. They're just having fun. I said, they ain't having fun. They're trying to hurt me. So
Yeah.
I think I went to 2 of them, and then they wouldn't take me around anymore. They said, this isn't your kind of deal. I'm going, I have to agree.
Dave, can I ask you a
but-
question?
Sure.
I don't know how long you were involved in the like the music scene and those kind of things. Did you ever have any contact in the late 80s, early 90s with the hair bands that emerged out of Los Angeles?
No, not too much. I had more contact with the with the not movie stars, but like comedians that were
Okay.
on the circuit going around, and up in Northern California and stuff
Doing
like
the
that.
stand-up circuit
Yeah,
around the
like the one
clubs?
guy that I remember, the one guy I remember the most. What was the big black guy? Started with an
Sinbad.
S. Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Sinbad. Yeah, real nice guy.
He was an
Real
Air
nice
Force
guy.
crew chief.
Was he? Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a good time up in Bass Lake one year, or one time 1 year up there, and he was funny as hell. We had a good time, but yeah, not too much with because like I said, did I like the rock and roll stuff? Did I like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and all Led Zeppelin and all? Yeah, of course, but I was still listening to the Beatles and Bob Dylan. That was the stuff that I really listened to. So that's why everybody said, "What was the name of this band?" I said, "I've heard the song a million times on the radio, driving in somebody else's car because they were listening to the rock and roll, but I don't know the name of them. I've heard it a million times, but I got friends that could just name stuff that probably like two notes and you know what song, what band, what year it came out, and I know none of that. Now, they asked me stuff about the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and I saw the Beach Boys when there was only maybe 150 people at Griffith Park on a stage.
Holy moly, really?
Yeah, my cousin, she came back from Colorado, and she was working up there in the off season or in the on season, but to make money as a waitress, you could make a lot of money up there in Colorado at the ski resorts. I forget exactly which one she was at. And she said, "Dave, man, you've got to listen to this guy." And I said, "What?" She said, they put up this big tent out in front of the restaurant that they were at, and there were she said probably 100, 150 people in there. And the guy was extraordinary. Well, it was Jimmy Buffett. And, so a lot of stuff like that, that I heard
He
of
went
off
on
the
to be
cuff.
kind of famous, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, kind of.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, he's an icon. Trust me.
Yeah,
There
my
are
cousin-
actually retirement communities now that are Margaritaville retirement communities here in Florida. I don't know if you ever heard that. He started retirement communities that
Oh,
are
did he?
based
No, I
around
did
his
not.
whole parrot head culture down here
I
in
did not
Florida.
know that.
And people are eating it up.
Randy says he's got some hearing losses from attending AC/DC concerts. Yeah, it was worth it too. Yeah, that's what, even when we were listening to music, when we were partying, there was the biggest speakers you could have, and you're in a living room in the house and it's just cranked. God knows what the dB level is. Did it hinder my hearing? Yeah. Some of my friends, they wear headphones and just pound their head and they can barely hear today. So anyway, all right, little AM radio in the 70s, a lot of fun. Loved it. Yeah, it was a fun time to grow up, I have to admit. All right, guys, it's been 2 hours and 2 minutes. So I think I'm going to say thanks to Jake, thanks to Chris, and thanks to Joe and to Brock and hey, I just seen Jack's here. How you doing, Jack? And Randy and Misdemeanor and E.T. and Joe, of course. I think I said that twice. Who else? Everybody in the Bill in the chat. Randy, Martin. Thank you guys
E.T.
for
Jam, everybody,
yeah.
Bobby.
I really appreciate it, guys, and
Yes,
I
E.T.
will,
Giorgio Moroder. Top guy. Met him.
did you?
Oh, yeah. Couple of times.
All right, guys.
Alrighty.
I will
Sorry.
catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Have a good one.
All
See
right,
ya.
take care. See ya.